Hi there, Richard at Ryden's Room again. Let's sit here, cover up the Wii and the Xbox shelf, but yeah, clear review of the TV. So, this is the specials finale. Is it a series finale if it wasn't a true series in the first place, or season if it was like to our American friends? I'd say not, but yeah, this is 2009, Christmas Day, part 2 was actually going to be a week later, New Year's Day, and God, I had so much fun watching these, like the hype was amazing. So, let's get straight back to it. So, the Daleks do not return. Should mention the Mars episode. A Dalek appears in a flashback as a reference to the 2008 battle, where one Dalek sees Adelaide and spares her, recognizing what her family are gonna, what she's gonna do, inspire her granddaughter in the future, and doesn't kill her. And that inspired Adelaide to go and see the stars, but not for revenge. Nice story. And that was it. The Dalek obligatory appearance once a year or series. Yeah, let's leave it running here. That'll do. Although, maybe not. This is part 2. Let's just put scene selection on. Right, let's just actually get to the title screen. So yeah, as you've just seen there, it is John Simm's return, which is... let's cut this out. Too much being given away. There we go. I mean, I'm sure anyone who's seen this has seen both parts, so I should treat it like you've not. Okay, so, yes, John Simm is back. They didn't bring the Daleks as the final boss. They brought the Master, which is obviously amazing. So, in the end, after the Doctor burned his body Darth Vader style, his ring fell from his body and someone with long red fingernails picked up. People thought it was his wife Lucy, which made no sense because she hated him by the end and actually killed him. No, it was some random woman. And it turns out that the Master, even though he never thought he would die, had a backup plan in case it did. Very clever. He basically put his life force into the ring, think the one ring from Lord of the Rings, so the Master is stout one now, pass it on. A nod to the Pokemon videos I've been watching where he loves to say pass on something, and Ash is a bad trainer, pass it on. So yeah, he gets resurrected using his ring to bring back. Oh, and Lucy, who's been imprisoned, uses his DNA that's in her mouth somehow after 2 years, doesn't make any sense, and bring him back to life. But his resurrection goes wrong. Lucy has basically planted a bomb with some people at Secret Allies, and they basically sabotage his resurrection. But he comes back, and it goes so wrong, he goes blonde. And his laughter is still as infectious as ever. It basically, everyone on Earth is having bad dreams. They forget once the dream's over, with the exception of one man. This really awesome narrator, voiced by Timothy Dalton, keeps narrating what's happening over Christmas, which is great. And yeah, Wilfred's the only person who seems to remember these dreams of some madman with blonde hair laughing. And yeah, it's the Master. He's come back. His reaction's gone so bad. He's had his hair colour changed. Well, I'm sure I read somewhere that he did that deliberately so people wouldn't recognise him as Howard Saxon. Although one guy immediately does. No, it doesn't matter. But everyone's going to know what his hair is different colour. People will recognise him. The official story was Howard Saxon went mad and disappeared. Because yeah, the part that got televised was one of the Spears assassinating the president, and then suddenly everything going basically wrong. Everything just kind of, due to the time reset, everything kind of just vanished. And then nothing was there. So it doesn't make any sense. Maybe the novelisation did a better job. I'll check that out if there is one day. But either way, the Master gets brought back and is much like the Doctor, who is alone. It shows, he's basically living in a wasteland, like wearing a tracksuit with nothing. His empire is like ashes and bone. And yeah, his resurrection has been sabotaged so badly, so kind of like burning out of existence. He goes a Skeletor-esque skeleton randomly. And yeah, he's having to devour everything in sight, including humans. And yeah, so naturally there's no respect for the human race. Like even the people that even his followers that bring him back to life, they're willing to sacrifice themselves. His reaction is, let them die. They're just the first. And yeah, of course, Lucy's actions kill her as well, but she kind of wrecks what the Master's plan was. But of course, he finds a way to get in control. He basically gets captured by this guy. Anyone watched the show Game On? It's Mandy's boxer boyfriend from the first episode, who Matt was convinced he could fight, and he could never. Joshua Naismith, he's just some important person now. He's kind of like Torchwood, of the London Torchwood. He comes across alien tech and uses it for stuff, or Van Statten from Series 1 in 2012. And it's a similar thing after Torchwood fell, and after the Battle of Canary Wharf, he took whatever he needed from there, and it's basically a gateway to heal things, and it's powerful enough to heal the entire planet, but the Master finds a way to get inside it and turns everyone into him, which is insane. The perfect way to heal is his damage, I suppose. He turns everyone. There's a great bit when like, you know, this one took hours to film. Like John Sim in every costume, but all the people that he's like taken like the forms of, he is in like all their clothes, including like women's clothes, like dresses. It's absolutely great. Yeah, and then it ends with the Master having turned the human race into the Master race, and then dun dun dun, the narrator turns out to be Rassilon, the founder of the Time Lord Society, who announces this is the day the Time Lords come back, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, this is just part one. I know the last two, 3 and 4s, I did across like did more 2 episodes in one vid, but this is kind of just one at a time. It kind of works better. So on to the good stuff then. So yeah, Wilfred is there, which of course means Donna's come back. Of course, she can't remember the Doctor. She's kept her like still got the same personality as before though, from like before she met him. And of course, Wilfred is just desperate for like the Doctor to find some way to fix her. There's a great bit when Wilfred and a bunch of his friends actually track the Doctor down. Great way to like queue up for a picture with him. He's just so not used to that sort of attention. It's pretty funny watching him trying to like just be a normal person. It's very funny, and there's a really, really savvy, again, phenomenal acting. Bernard Cribbins, David Tennant just nail it in every way. They go to a cafe. It turns out it's a cafe where Donna's car is parked. She's got a new fiance, and it's just so sad watching like the Doctor like seeing Donna there, like trying to break down. She's not changed, and mentions that she says that he's now got she has a new fiance. He's a nice guy, but he's just, a bit of a dreamer, but she's just making do. And he's sort of, aren't we all? And she asks, Wilfred asks him, who've you got? Nothing. And then you get reference to why he needs someone. I thought we'd better, but just some things that went wrong. And he's like, well, we're trying to hold the tears back. And he's like, I just need. And then he tries to like, shrug it off. Merry Christmas, Wilfred. You too. He's like, look at us. And you just see how miserable the Doctor is. Yeah, he did some things that went wrong. He's talking about what he did in Mars, and this isn't even straight after that. This is like some time after, because he delayed going to the Ood when they signalled him. So he's done maybe he's done other bad stuff since then. There's a good book, so it's called Time Lord Victorious, which is what he called himself in the last episode, but that's set in a totally different time, so it's not really part of that at all. But yeah, you just see how miserable he is, and it just works so well. And it's just the Doctor and Wilfred have got this amazing relationship. It's like a proper father-son thing where they're just, the Doctor's like sees Wilfred as like something he needs, and it's like it's a caring a caring man. He probably does remind him of his like own dad. And yeah, it basically ends with Christmas Day. Donna's picked Wilfred this book up about the Joshua Naismith guy. She has no idea why she's got it. She just felt like it's something he'd enjoy. So there's part of Donna still there. And yeah, it's a great bit when Sylvia, Donna's mum, shows up, sees the Doctor, like quickly tells him to get out of there for Donna in case Donna remembers. He quickly runs off because there's a mother's he doesn't get on with too well. And Wilfred goes with him into the TARDIS. He's like, you come in? Well, I'm not staying with her. Fair enough, come on in. And it's a great bit. And of course, the reaction is the best. It's not as big on the inside. It's I thought it'd be cleaner. Cleaner? That's a great one. And Wilfred reacts to this stuff. Doctor explains why he can't just go back and stop the Master like yesterday. And the Doctor uses the explanation. He's like, understand it? Not a word. Welcome aboard. So yeah, there's great stuff. One thing I really didn't like, and again, this is another episode, I think part 1 is the better one. Doctor Who's never really, I mean, they've done it plenty of times, but in modern Doctor Who, you use the President of America in Series 3 as just some guy. I mean, it would be George Bush at the time, but this guy was just a American president who was clearly meant to be a bit of a dick, happy to take control of the situation for himself. Didn't like Hal Saxon very much, but you can't blame him there. And yeah, when they have the president killed, he's dead, you don't get a name. But then you actually go full in on it being Barack Obama, who was the president at the time, elected, late 08, sworn in early 09, talking about how Barack Obama's got a plan to end the recession, save the world. So I don't mind the nods to the recession at the time, but I just didn't like that it's an actual president. Why could it have just been another president or something? But yeah, I suppose trying to keep it modern, but when they didn't use George Bush in 2007, why did they have to actually use Barack Obama in 2009? I never got that. But it doesn't matter. His plan to save the economy, etc. doesn't matter when the Master takes his body along with us. And basically, I don't want to throw my box sets. Basically, so emergency plan to help the economy. And yeah, it's great, much like how his first thing he did when he got sworn in as Prime Minister in 2007 was to have his entire cabinet killed as their reward for abandoning their parties to join him. First he does, there's no plan to save the world. And of course, that's the end of part 1. So really good story. The Doctor's loneliness and guilt is at full force here. Him and Wilfred have these amazing father-son-esque chats that works so well. And cannot fault this episode. It's absolutely great. Oh, in the ending, Donna starts to remember everything that's happened. There's no idea what's going on. And that's basically part 1. Wilfred is basically shut into this chamber to keep him safe from Master's effects. So Wilfred doesn't get transformed like everyone else does, and likewise it doesn't work on Donna because of the meta-crisis thing, her DNA being altered. So that is part 1. Great episode. John Sim, better than ever, because again, John Sim's Master seemed like he was meant to channel the Doctor's manicness. That's kind of what they've always done with the Master and Doctor. They're kind of similar to each other. My dog was randomly staring over something. And you get all the quieter moments, which you still had in Series 3, much, much stronger here, and it just works so well. So that's it. I'll see you next time for the finale.